either last pick Mars that Wyvern can fly out of and set up and protect people who are inside of it, or you can just get the setup for your team. There's just a lot of benefits that I feel like this Wyvern was picked early, and I feel like High Coast picked things into it that were just made it better as Hanskin.
Blast going off. Hanskin will be your first blood. It's Era
Nice.
who picks it up.
Be done. Getting themselves ticked up, and Era now having an urn too early on.
Saw FNG trying to guard the other side of the power runes. They're going to TP in. Even if they didn't get the power rune, Limp will at least be able to get the bottle refill. Again,
Yeah,
he is
like
doing really well.
That's the solution. Yeah. Immediately goes toward top. They also have they even have a stack starting to be prepared. I noticed for the Shadow Fiend to get enabled even more. Hanskin to get at least one there, and he's gonna mess with the pull and get himself the top 2 bounty runes for his team. Bottom looks like High Coast should be able to get it. FNG can't. So likely to be a 2 for 2.
Especially since they're missing with a hard camp stack of their own. See FNG trying to get that one big centaur. That's going to be denied by Era. Goes for the kick. Still, Nico Baby's free farming. We've got S4 doing very well on the Monkey King when it comes to CS. I don't think you're really expecting an offlaner to be getting more CS than the enemy carry, but it's working here. Charlie is falling farther and farther behind, it seems. And then the mid lane matchup, TA versus SF, skill-based matchup, and he wins it.
Yeah, and he's even got the double wave. He kills the enemy catapult, and now he's going to look to pressure this tower here. Clear out the next wave and have his catapult hitting the tower. A nice aggressive move by Limp that they're not going to react to. Era starting to make the move over, but should have maybe been there a little bit sooner. They could actually look to set up and punish him, though. Traps up, sticks on TA, and you have the rune is coming up, FNG.
Kicks him over. Aaron's going to have to abandon the idea of picking up this power rune, which will end up going to Limp, an illusion rune in his back pocket, ready to be used, I guess, if he runs into a bad TA trap or something. Nice little dispel.
Definitely a pretty decent one. Don't break refraction charges or play it defensively. He's got a couple methods, and he's gonna farm those stacks that they do have ready in the jungle. They'll give the clockwork mid for levels. This is all just great maximizing from alliances. Coast getting a little bit out farmed in these lanes at the moment, and unable to really pressure on any fronts. Can't take advantage of the fact that S4 is just alone is definitely a concern.
Yeah, when they're winning in CS in all their lanes and they're getting more camps stacked, like that says to me something went wrong. Whether it was a drafting matchup or a play, and I kind of feel like it's got to be a little bit of draft. I think this Monkey King versus Ember Spirit lane was a brilliant choice by Alliance.
Yeah, and maybe Zibek should have just backed away and just done a little bit more stacks. I see he has 2 prepared, but maybe he should have just gone for full maximizing first rather than just sticking up there. As didn't seem to help too much anyway versus S4. Mid, Limp.
Getting some nice side blades in. Supreme is going to be forced back by the burn. Hanskin braving the tower in order to get this kill. And ultimately, they do kill Supreme before he can get the last hit on Hanskin. So,
worth it.
Yeah. And again,
Nico Baby
still able to leave S4 alone at top.
Yeah, they can't actually punish him. They're going to try now with Era's rotation. They should be.
Gave it to Charlie.
A little close.
He needs the helping hand, I think, to be a little bit more farmed. So that's fair.
I'm liking this choice from Nico Baby. We've seen a lot of times when these Wraith Kings are playing versus either Tidehunter and Mars, they go for the quick chainmail, right? And then they go into the phase boots, and then they build up into their either Gloves of Haste or into Midas or something like that. He's just going for straight armlet. He gets the Helm of Iron Will for that armor and that regen to counteract the physical damage, and he's going to have it pretty much done already. That's going to make it really hard for them to ever set up on him. And then he can actually look to get involved in this item. It's fully beneficial across every possible thing. Armor, damage, farm potential. And he's into TA, so it's going to have a lot of merits.
What about the High Coast side? Like, what do we do item-wise, movement-wise? The laning phase isn't going, like, horrifically terrible. No doubt Alliance is winning it, but it's, less than 1,000 net worth lead right now. Is there anything that High Coast can do to kind of change things up a little bit? You want to see them play more of a tri-lane against S4? Like, what is it?
Just more stacks, really. The fact that TA lost mid and now she doesn't have as many stacks as I'd like to is a big concern. TA is all about being very far ahead. If you're behind by any fronts, your hero feels incredibly. feel like getting the stacks set up is going to be the most important thing, and then just Era and Charlie have to just high five, and they have to make plays around each other. Chessie, he has a lot of options. I feel like he can actually go to almost any of the lanes besides bottom and look as an opportunity. But mostly, I think when they start getting a tower push, Chessie's job is just to be there and just plop himself in front of it and not allow them to get that push going. So I think stacks, though, are the most important thing. Cannot have Supreme fall behind at all in this game.
Well, he is top of High Coast roster. He is ahead of the Wraith King, though. Limp, who's farther and farther ahead thanks to all these extra neutrals he's managed to get. Now Hanskin is going to find an opening on Zibe, interrupted by Era, though. Era's done this time and time again. Seems like he's pretty much playing around the coddle a lot of the times.
Nice. Bails him out of maybe a potential bad situation. They still have these two stacks set up, and these two are actually hand-holding themselves, the two supports, and looks like Zibe is going to start working on the stack himself and just clear it up a little for Supreme. But no ancient stacks at all yet this game, which is always a big worry for me when you're playing with TA.
Yeah, that is a bit concerning. A bit of the downside of Era playing more around mid and especially top is that he's not there to be able to stack up so much.
They at least have this hard camp now, triple stack too, so the Deso timing is still looking to be pretty decent. He is enabled quite well. But yeah, Limp is gonna have his item finished at the same time too to look to make moves around, and Buells will be pretty good way for them to set up everything.
Oh,
to make any
they still hit him. Arctic
move.
Burn gets disjointed by the Slight.
Charlie's fine. Very tough setups for them to actually kill this Ember. Unless they have, I mean, if they have Curse, they can. But besides that, for the early set, this Ember should be pretty safe as long as he doesn't do any crazy remnants or just some nice downtime to farm. So they're doing exactly what I was feeling I wanted them to do. And Chessie's not dying. No one's dying out of it when they're getting this time to farm and catch back up in the net worth.
Going to be going for a Yules first. Looks like Hanskin's going to die to Supreme as the two supports rotate into mid lane. They probably know the SF is clearing stacks right now, which is why they kind of make an aggressive move here. They're going to try and see if they can go for the boundary rune here. They're going to scare back Limp, roll in. Do manage to get a kick onto him, push him back into Supreme here. Now he's looking to pick up the bounty rune, but he gets cold embraced. FNG may die for that little play. FNG, the last shot comes in, but Limp is able to get off his ultimate with Requiem and Wukong's out. They TP away, and FNG didn't actually die. So nobody really dies from that whole entire rotation. Now Chance is going to come in with the haste rune and arena and runs. Haven't seen one of those plays before. Hanskin, big old whiff there on the hook shot, looking to get himself out of that sticky situation. He goes down. Era doesn't have a roll up, so it looks like he's going to be dying here to S4. The TA trap slows him down, but just forces out the boundless strike. Now he's going to be embered up. Controlled by the Slide, tries to dodge that big hit from the Melt Strike. Supreme, though, is unable to continue that play thanks to the cold embrace from FNG. It's Winter Wyvern. As you were kind of saying, it's actually turned out to be a pretty good game for a Winter Wyvern. The versatility of his abilities against these heroes.
Yeah, for a first pick Wyvern, right? It just feels like he has actually a really good place in the game versus the TA and versus all this physical damage. High Coast still looking to invade. Charlie with the remnants feels safe. Coddle has back. He's got good refresh of his spells. That's FNG.
Ancients. Oh no! Ancients are woken up and immediately target FNG. They take the last hit instead of High Coast.
Okay, nice aggressive move coming in forward. Chessie's ult definitely a little awkward. They do at least get a kill out of it and are able to disengage nicely. And they do buy time. Supreme, got his Deso. So pretty decent invasion, even though it's very awkward the way like one hero died out of all of it on each side.
Yeah, I'm just I think the best part about it is that Supreme is there, but it hasn't slowed down his farm at all. He's still got the Deso. He's now highest net worth. Looking to take that mid tower before Limp can really stop anything. He's got a couple of people behind him here. The Mars is going to cut over. The Earth Spirit's ready to roll in if necessary. Just protect this aggression since the tower is almost dead. Just make sure that your mid isn't ganked while going for it.
FNG's really low level after all this. Still only level 5. He's that pretty much dream setup for their team. It's really difficult for them to ever get these good setups with Hanskin without this curse. FNG still quite short of it here. Supreme pretty far in now, though. Can't quite go for him. Recall, Jibe brings Charlie in.
High Coast. I think they're doing a really good job by like forcing this Wraith King into the mid lane is kind of a dream. See if they can still like I think you maybe just split up and just no longer approach that mid tower. It seems like a little bit too risky. They're the ones who brought all these heroes to mid lane. You've got the Coddle and Ember. You've got the mobility on your side. You can outfarm them here.
Yeah, definitely a good move, especially when they're starting to see like the experience is being given for the most part to FNG in the mid. I think they were trying to really take advantage of the fact that he was not 6 yet. So they get a good chunk of damage on the tower, and then yeah, back up, reset, get the lanes cleared out, get Chessie very close to a blink dagger, which gives him a much easier way to start fights. And if he can get this blink, he finds the Shadow Fiend. This Shadow Fiend's gonna die in almost every single one of these occasions pre-BKB.
Yeah, and
so
then you just
really big for them.
You've funneled all this net worth onto a hero that could very easily go 100-0 at the start of a fight.
Yeah. Limp has to get the BKB right afterwards as we see him queue it up. And they look to make an aggressive move. FNG hits 6 off that creep. They can Requiem into, or curse into Requiem now onto most heroes. Only level 1 Requiem, about to hit 12.
If he finds someone entirely solo here, he may still be able to get the Yules, but Charlie very quick there, realizing that any sort of pressure there, he's got to be careful about the strike or Winter's Curse, these very long-range disables. Mid tower is going to fall, hit by the creeps. None of the heroes claim that last hit bounty, but still, it's a big boon being able to take that mid tower first. I believe Kyle said 74% win rate, which of course is a bullshit stat, but I have no doubt that the team who takes mid tower first probably has a higher win rate.
So 76 and 74% are Kyle's 2 numbers.
Yeah, you got to watch out for the 70s with Kyle. He really tries to make he tries to bully people on panel with fake stats, basically.
I like this from High Coast. So I think they need to continue these aggressive moves. You know that for the time being, Alliance is going to sit back and just try to get mostly farm. Wraith King going for Radiance. BKB just absolutely needed on Shadow Fiend. So press the issue forward here. Chessie, look to make these jumps. And maybe even potentially set yourself up for a Roche if you see the opportunity. You can get a kill on the SF, you can easily set up around. So traps and get you positioning in a good spot to get a grab. Keep the Coddle near to recall people.
I like how you're talking about like the potential opening for Roshan here, because High Coast, they're not really playing too much for being able to take that bottom safe lane tower. You know, that easy tower to take. They just entirely playing around this top half of the map, invading the triangle, and in a way gives them potential to Roshan at any time. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit different, but they have great team fights. It's as long as they get this all off before the BKB. Limp is able to finish this KB, it's going to prove to be huge problems for them because he's always going to get his Requiem off. It's going to just mess with absolutely everything fights. He's level 12 too, and he's getting a pretty good timing. They're actually looking to set up around bottom as High Coast is looking to set up onto Nico Baby mid.
Yeah, they smoke down to the bottom lane. They actually do manage to get Winter's Curse into the Requiem, into the Wukong's command. My goodness. They made sure that Supreme did die there. But High Coast has some heroes that are sneaking in from the side here. So even if they lost the TA, there's still a chance they can get a good fight here. But they have to do kind of soon. They're going to be able to find the Clockwork, kill him instantly. The spear goes out, actually hits S4. They didn't expect to find that kill. They lock him inside the arena. He's forced to fight back. He's got the Jingu stacks, trying to keep himself alive off the lifesteal, but no chance in hell. Chessie finish them off with a God's Rebuke while Limp is forced to TP away to safety. Meanwhile, though, Nico Baby with a big push into mid lane does equalize the map pressure there. Looks like FNG, he tried to stick around even though he had a TP. I think he was hoping for a sneaky little play, but no chance here.
You can see the very liberal usage of the ultimates from Alliance there. Just how slow pace of the game is. They know they can just throw everything onto the TA. High Coast will be able to get their own push going, but I don't think Alliance is upset about this at all. They get the Relic done now on Nico Baby, getting closer to Radiance, and this Wraith King, just like the panel was saying, just like T was saying, this guy's the king. He's the one who's going to be that real big carry for the team with the backup of that SF aura too. Really going to help him inside the fights.
Yeah, and what a huge amount of net worth he just got, being able to claim the last hit on the mid tower and the top tower while he's farming all the live long day. So I got a question. With these ultimates that they're using so liberally, are they not long enough for you to be able to punish like immediately? Was there any chance that High Coast can just like, okay, they use ultimates, let's just go Roshan? No play like that?
If they use the ultimates on the TA, probably not, right? Because Supreme's respawn was like 40 plus seconds. They actually have time to reset, get themselves in good position to set up around there. So if they use that on the TA, then it's really good. But maybe now, this is where High Coast could look to back up. It's still a bit risky though. Clockwork Rocket, they have so many different ways to get information inside the pit on the side of Alliance. So they're gonna give that respect on High Coast. But it's definitely scary that it's still only that 1K lead for Alliance, but you really feel that High Coast have to keep tempo going with this line. This TA, the longer the game goes, just starts to really start to fall behind, especially into a Wraith.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned they've been slowed down for the last 5 minutes. It feels like, you know, they're right on the cusp of being able to find these big kills, and then, you know, they get something like this. Okay, the Winter Wyvern, not too bad. This might still be okay, but you can see Alliance want to make a full fight of it. They're going to be jumping in. Hanskin goes in, immediately blasted out of his own cogs. Maybe it's for the best, though. As for, they need to focus him down now fast, and does manage to do so before the Wukongs does too much damage. Air's going to roll in, tries to go for Limp. Limp with the DD, though, just hits him down, puts him in his place. It's going to be a 1-for-2 trade-off there with High Coast walking away the better of the arrangement, though. Still not the dominant team fight they're searching for, Fog.
No, not at all. Something small. They need to kick it up, and they need to get the bigger kills. S4 is kind of the sacrificial lamb, it feels like, for his SF and Wraith King in most of these situations. A decent hit, and they do get some good, like they have these good wards and all this good coverage, but immediately have to run back to go push out their lane before they can really take advantage of anything here. And now it's going to be some time for them to really farm and finish up the BKB on TA for Supreme, so he feels safer because they're just going to clearly throw all the ultimate.
Looks like Chessie took a break off into Winter Wonderland he's got in the backyard.
I like Chessie's backgrounds.
Yeah. Could be Sweden right there. It has been snowing quite. I saw you've been posting pictures of snow.
Dude, we got slammed. We got what, 60 centimeters for the non-Americans, maybe even more than that actually outside. It got 2 feet of snow or something. It's crazy. And I think we're supposed to get more today for a bit, but it's only get down.
Score is 4-10. It's been a pretty even game. Alliance have been slightly leading through most of it, but never much more than 1,000 net worth at a time. Same goes with experience. They were up by almost 2K at one point, but quickly dialed back down. It feels like that the game is going to be determined in this next like 2 or 3 minutes, Fogged, if High Coast can finally find that team fight that allows them to take Roshan, and then that Roshan, that Aegis, then allows them to take further map control, and maybe they just are able to choke Alliance out. Or if that doesn't happen, it feels like Alliance just going to straight up win off of their the next round of items.
Yeah, it feels like the pressure is really on these next 5 minutes. It's going to be Limp with his BKB, so it's going to be Alliance searching out for the fights, and it's really going to be how much can High Coast do. They have to win this next fight, or it's going to be disaster. The game is going to start getting out of hand for them. The SF and the Wraith King are just going to start outscaling this TA, and Ember Spirit can't do this on his own. He's not into this. He's not fighting versus like any illusion core or anything like that. He's fighting heroes that are just good versus.
Now we saw the win probability like heavily in the favor of Alliance, 84% right now. Is it is there no option for High Coast to go late game?
I don't see a way for them. When the fact that they have TA versus like Wyvern just hard out counters like the straight physical damage, right? And Ember, sure he's playing versus limited disables, but his damage is just it's not good versus Wraith King and SF in the later stages. He's got Maelstrom. These heroes are just going to get durable. They're going to have the backup of the heals, etc. Pokes are not going to work as much. They need like a full commit. The Ember is not going to be the solution.
Yeah, it seems like, some of these heroes, they might be able to go into late game all right, but the hero matchups just aren't in there. TA, very burst-oriented carry against Wraith King with 2 lives. Wyvern with Cold Brace, like you said. Yeah, it's going to be rough if they can't take control of the game pretty much right now.
Yep. And they need to make a lot happen if they are able to take advantage of this next couple seconds. They need to win this fight, get the Roche, and then just keep snowballing. Have to have perfect ult from Chessie. 20 seconds, no ult on this Mars at the moment. Limp, his BKB is coming out on the courier. crucial time around here. Supreme still a bit shy of his BKB, so maybe a little hesitant to want to join. They always have the coddle though, so he can go finish it up elsewhere and then come in. It's actually Alliance forcing the issue of that Roche because of that BKB.
I did not think that Alliance would be the ones to like make the somewhat risky maneuver here. I thought like passive play was the a no-brainer for me, but Alliance.
They're forcing the hand.
Yeah, they certainly are. HCE may not be ready for it. With the hook shot coming in, the Requiem. Oh no, he had a moment, but he couldn't get away in time. The fear catches him before he could jump away. Now Era is very likely to die here. The Essence Ring won't save him as S4 jumps to the other side of things and limp with the rest of his BKB. And the help of Nico, baby, they're gonna look to finish up this Roshan, claim the Aegis before HCE has a chance to do anything.
Oh, that is disastrous. The TA draft does not get the Roche set up at all. They can't even take the fight because the way it starts, Charlie has to be more careful. Even though, as you say, he's elusive, there is different ways to combo him with that Yules.
That
can't make these type of mistakes. As Supreme, he probably wanted to finish the BKB, but it's just a really smart move from Alliance to force the issue.
And take it out, I mean, Roshan is so important for TA lineups in general. As we can see, Supreme, he does excellent damage, particularly when he has a DD, but he's still very fragile. He needs that extra life to work with.
Especially when he's playing versus a lot of different ways to kite him out. With the Cold Embrace, the Clockwork can mess with you, even if you do have BKB. Just even Reincarnate can slow you down if you post BKB. Be very careful for Supreme. He's going to have to really put the work in for his team. And the rest of them are just really falling behind. Charlie, he's below the offlane. He's below the Monkey King as the best 4.
I just cannot get over that Witch's Blade is a viable item for non-intelligence heroes.
Too. It's so weird to see this on these Monkey Kings every game.
Monkey Kings, seen it on a few Ember Spirits.
Very likely for him to die if they do get the setup. I actually like it even more when you have setup though, right? When you have Winter's Curse, you can get them in the middle of the Wukong then, right? Then you're actually going to maximize the Witch. Unlike where a lot of the times I feel like I see the Witchblade get like a hit. Like, okay, well, all right, decent.
Yeah.
At least the stats it provides are just a...
Nico, baby, continuing off of this momentum. If they have the Aegis on the SF, they're very likely to try and force some fights and go for some invasions. He's got a Blink Dagger to make sure that team fights actually happen right now.
Yeah, I love this third item Blink that I'm seeing on these Wraith Kings a lot of the time. You get kited, but this is always going to change that, and you just, if you get on the supports and the backlines, you will probably 1 or 2 shot them if you get a hit with the Mortal Strike. Era, very far forward.
Oh, he does manage to roll away. He's going to make break for it. He's good, I think.
Oh. That looked weird. It looked like he was actually inside of him. The roll was like perfect. As Jibe won't be so lucky. There's that 1 hit.
Yeah, a guaranteed crit from a strength carry is pretty good. Who knew?
What cap? It was reduced 10% in 7.28A.
Yeah.
So they're still getting a good amount of gold on the map, but you can just feel like, is it all going to actually come down to something? I'm really hoping to see what they're going to be able to make of it with these double BKBs. The Mars also has his finish. Charlie going for a Lincoln's. He's still a bit weak in that front. But with this timing, they're actually going to look for something here.
Coordination not on point. Double smokes for this play, but maybe double the smokes, double the kills.
Maybe. Wraith King quite far away from his team at the moment. They're getting a good wrap around, and to see the couriers also flying in, so they know exactly where they're going to be.
Follow that courier, boys.
Where is he? Oh, it's Hanskin. Get him.
Okay, there's the Clockwork. They don't want to initiate on him. They really want to be able to catch up. Maybe the SF. They actually do jump the Clockwork with the TA. The back line, they do manage to kill FNG. He goes down. S4 trapped inside the arena. They're going to play around that, but Lin does manage to get his Yule's combo onto Era, who's most certainly dead, unless Essence Ring. No, the last hit comes in. The BKB from Chessie fighting through. Hanskin is going to go down. The BKBs, though, trapped inside these cogs. Mars managed to blink away. Supreme fighting through this, but remember, remember, he doesn't have that as Aegis. He is so squishy right now. He needs to be able to stay away from Limp. Look at him. They don't have detection. They're throwing down races. Finally, they drop the sentry and they see him. They finally managed to kill the TA. It's up to the Ember Spirit to lay out this damage now, but Nico, baby, he's about to lose his first life, but it's the SF who's going to go down first. FNG gets rolled over by Zibe. Let's see if they can catch these two cores on their second life. Limp, he doesn't have a BKB, so he's pretty easily controlled up. He does do a good job of bringing down Mars for the end of it. Charlie, ooh, last bit of mana there with the sleight of fist to make sure Nico, baby, didn't hit him with a stun. They are desperate to slow this man down, catch him. Don't let his blink dagger come up. They managed to get the vessel, but he blinked into the trees.
Oh. Uh-oh. Okay.
He's good.
Just in case. Wow, that was actually better fight than I thought High Coast was going to be able to put up. They did have to use some buybacks, but what did they actually found? Alex was prepared on the right side. They got on him right away. That was a crazy fight.
Yeah, that was
the cogs actually were really impactful though. Hanskin trapping them both. They're the majority of their BKB in there, so they had to just play very defensive while they were resetting away. And Nico, baby, still probably the biggest winner of it all, but a decent fight from High Coast into an Aegis. Yeah,
not too bad at all. If they could just take another team fight, this one going perhaps a little bit better for the TA since she's not going to have buybacks, so that was obviously a big factor. But and honestly, just taking away that Aegis, if they can force another engagement, win that one, we still have a small chance of High Coast kind of taking over that mid game like they need to do.
Yep. I think this Nico, baby, actually made the executive choice because he got so much farm and he lived throughout the entirety of the last fight. He actually is going for the AC. I saw that Limp had it queued up, but he gets killed. He doesn't have the great gold. He's just gonna have a casual plate mill for the time being. Not too bad anyway for TA. Then he'll go for Butterfly. And they're gonna have this AC pretty much done soon. That's gonna counteract a lot of that damage we did see coming in from Supreme in that last fight. And he has to be just much more careful, as you said. No buyback gonna be available for the night.
Wraith King's out here pretty far. They kind of ping him, but no disables are around to stop him from teaming away.
A very close game, 11-16.
Yeah. Catching FNG? No. Missed the chains. Chessie not able to follow up without that disable.
So scary to be Supreme right now. He has to just be very careful. His team has to play and just pretty much smoke to him every time he shows in a lane, because they're very likely that they set up on him side of Alliance, and they will. Nico baby's gonna run in with his new AC.
Running into the Wraith King, that is not what High Coast wants, so they're gonna retreat after losing Era. See if Zibe is able to get back in time before the next blink of the Wraith King. He's good. Or maybe he's not. Nice glimmer. He gets that off in time. Zibe is going to have to find some sort of corner to hide in. TP out, but Hanskin ready to go with the hook shot and the vision on the high ground to spot him.
Feeling their power spike as soon as that AC is picked up. Fearlessly charging in to start getting an advantage, even though they don't have Aegis. Feeling that power because the TA, no buyback. He just has to be so careful. Now 30 seconds, no Earth Spirit. Good window for Alliance to really press this advantage forward. Himself to tier 2, maybe claim an outpost. Finish up with his next set of items. In particular, Limp's Butterfly, probably the big one. And S4's BKB. So fights will get easier for Alliance and they're looking pretty hard for High Coast.
Yeah, it's funny watching this S4 Monkey King. All I can think about the fact is that he's able to spend more time in trees because he's not supposed to be kind of a carry. You know?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have to take that risk that, like, 1 and 2 position Monkey Kings have to do because, like, if you spend too much time in trees, you're just wasting away. You're not actually getting a whole lot of farm. But S4, he's been spending, like, half the game just chilling out, watching people, waiting for his opportunity to strike.
And he's still very farmed, honestly. Like, he's not the same as the Mars because he has been playing on the trees a lot, but he's been a distraction. He's been the one that they've actually focused a lot of the attention on, too, because he's just in the midst of it all. And the Wukong is always a problem. Hanskin will find Era.
Era's dead. Zibe, maybe the same thing here. Glimmer, Cape trying to get away. The dust is going to slow him down, though. double raises spell the doom for him. Chessie doesn't get off his BKB in time. He gets hit by the stun. Limp is going to go for the Requiem, but at the same time, the curse came out on the TA. That's going to be a lot of abilities wasted in Supreme. He wastes no time to try and take advantage of this. They do have the Cold Embrace plus Wukong's command combo that is going to force Supreme away, though. He's not able to take advantage of that. Bit of a misplay, bit of a miscommunication from Alliance.
Oops. A little bit of a reset away from it. A little bit of weird stuff going on there. Clearly different understanding of the fight from the SF and the Wyvern of how to want to get out of that situation. I think FNG making a good executive choice. Guys, we're on the high ground. We don't need to be here.
Yeah.
Get the hell out.
Fair call.
And now High Coast, they don't have Mars ult for about 25 seconds. Chessie's still not having it available, but they do have a little bit of a power for Supreme.
Yeah, if all things like even, if you blow ultimates on both sides, you're probably more willing to take the fight if you're High Coast, right?
Yeah, Nico Baby is the one all the way in the front though, so this is a tough target for them to paste onto.
Oh,
and
nice
Charlie,
double stun there from the Balance Strike. He's going to try and jump in. They do manage to bring down Charlie. Now they're going to follow up on Arrow, who tried to roll onto the back line to catch FNG. Instead, he's the one who stumbles into Alliance's trap. 2 down with a 5,000 net worth lead. Alliance they just seem to be countering a lot of High Coast moves. They're just reading them. They're going to have to go for a fight here. Every single time, Nico Baby's the one to intercept the movement.
And such good reads of how to just control Charlie. This is now the second time that I've seen Hanskin it's perfect. They get the initial with the beauty cog pushback. Their lineup is lacking a little bit of those real stuns, quote unquote, but when he does it like this, they'll be able to catch Ember, who's done a Linken's.
Yeah.
Linken's isn't going to help you with a boundless strike or a clock hook shot and pushback. Now Aegis Cheese as well. Full butterfly on Limp from that last situation. Looking scary for High Coast. Supreme has Daedalus, but a lot more things that he's going to have to deal with.
We thought that this game was heavily favoring Alliance when the game was even on net worth and experience. Now that they're a 7K, it's pretty much saying there's just one more nail left to put into that coffin.
Charlie showing himself in the front again.
He's got to be careful of that.
Lincoln.
He's got the Lincolns, and they tried the double stun there. But fortunately, Charlie was quick enough before the Winter's Curse came out.
They have a great ward deep in the base. S4, he's setting up here.
S4 does manage to get off the Wukong's command to be able to cover as Nico Baby that was not trapped at all. Managed to kill Supreme as a result of that. The Winter's Curse goes out last second. FNG was just hoping to survive, but either way, his team has certainly won this engagement. Chessie puts himself in a corner, trying to use his shield as best he can, but ultimately, without the TA, Fog, they don't have any damage.
No, they do not. And a beautiful setup from S4. They actually catch Era trying to do some creep catching shenanigans in the back here, and they're going to use buybacks to try to hold the racks. Okay. Looks like a pretty hard hold. There's still Aegis, as well as the cheese.
Yeah, he pops the cheese. Just in case, 10 more seconds till his reincarnation is back up. They're going to go for Hanskin here. Hanskin protecting himself with the conks. Nico Baby is ready to go back in. His reincarnation is just about there. Actually, the block's done there as Nico Baby, thanks to S4, gets hit by the Earth Spirit. So Nico Baby just pumps out the damage real quick, takes down Era, brings down Charlie, and now he's looking for the finishing blow on not just Chessie, but High Coast as a whole. You should be able to take 2 lanes of barracks. High Coast can hold out if they want to. There's still, that's tier 2 at bottom lane. Alliance can't force Megas just yet.
What a way to start that fight. S4 jumping in, puts a ward down in the back lines, and then they just jump on the TA, and the Wukong's pretty much does everything with Nico Baby there. Chessie, he jumps in the back lines, but they're like, oh god, wait a minute. Our damage source is already dead, and nothing they can do as Alliance can finally look to close this one up after it felt like they've taking control of this game as soon as they got that first Roche.
Yeah, they may not be able to get Megas, but Ancient is still a win condition, and it is going to be enough to force High Coast. GG out. So, game 1, High Coast, they managed to, kind of keep it even, but it did feel